Your Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta, the President of the Republic of Kenya, my dear friend and brother, Cabinet Secretary and Governor of the African Development Bank from Kenya, my dear brother Henry Rotich, Cabinet Secretaries and senior government officials from Kenya, honorable ministers, shareholders of Africa 50, ambassadors, board members of Africa 50, the Chief Executive Officer of Africa 50, Alan Ebobise, senior management and staff of Africa 50, members of the diplomatic corps, members of the press, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the General Shareholders Meeting of Africa 50. Let me start by thanking you, Mr. President, Your Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta, for your generous invitation for us to host this General Shareholders Meeting right here in Kenya, and for personally gracing this opening ceremony, and for the excellent reception and facilities that you have made available to us. We cherish the usual very warm hospitality that Kenyans are known for. For me, it is especially heartening to be back here in Kenya, where I lived and worked for 10 years. And so, Mr. President, I am fully at home in Kenya. I wish to congratulate you, Mr. President, for your remarkable growth and development, and for the remarkable growth and development that Kenya continues to experience. I will be meeting you tomorrow as I start my official visit to Kenya as President of the African Development Bank. I will have a lot more time to discuss, but I would like to thank you for your kind invitation. There is a reason we all come to Kenya and never stop coming. Kenya is simply beautiful. Its people are warm and welcoming. Kenya has also been resilient. I wish to commend you and all Kenyans for the way and manner in which you manage the political environment with peace, mutual trust, and prayers which have brought political stability to Kenya. Congratulations, Mr. President, for your amazing leadership that you have provided. Mr. President, you are one of the first African leaders to support the creation of Africa 50, which I am honored to chair. The African Development Bank, of which I am president, helped to create Africa 50 because we believe that new institutional models are needed to close Africa's huge infrastructure financing gap. Africa needs a lot more roads, rail, port, maritime, and air transport facilities, as well as greater levels of investment in water, sanitation, and energy to improve the quality of.
Earlier this year, I had the privilege to meet with Africa 50's CEO, Alan Ebobise, a meeting which focused on Africa 50's interest in investing here in Kenya, in sectors such as transport and energy that are central to the realization of my administration's Big Four agenda. Indeed, it was a pleasure to consult on these matters and to find partners devoted to the development of African infrastructure. But perhaps I should start by saying a little more about our own Big Four agenda. This is an agenda that has a single aim: to improve the lives of Kenyans by ensuring that all of us are food secure, that we have a decent roof over our heads, and that everyone has access to affordable health care, and that more jobs are created in the manufacturing sector. Therefore, ladies and gentlemen, you will agree with me that infrastructure development is crucial, because none of these goals will be met without a functioning, effective infrastructure base. It is indeed a key enabler for other aspects of development to be sustained. Manufacturing, for example, will grow and create jobs which we need across the African continent to provide jobs for our youth. And this can only again happen if we are supplied with adequate and reliable energy. The need for sustained investment in energy generation and transmission is therefore a priority for us and has been so for the last 5 years. Let me at this point highlight some notable milestones that we have made in revitalizing our physical infrastructure. Over the last 5 years, we have widened access to power across the country. Once, 5 years ago, only 20% of our households had access to power. Today, I'm proud to say that 60% have access to power. In other words, in 5 short years, we have more than tripled access to electric power. Indeed, we now have, and by some distance, the best electricity access rate in East Africa. That is proof, if I may say so, of my administration's commitment to aggressively fast-tracking economic development through infrastructure investment. My administration's focus is on developing world-class infrastructure for all. Investment, after all, tends to follow infrastructure, and businesses go where they can move people, move goods, and move services more efficiently.